For problem number 9, we want to find the equation of a trend line. In fact, all 3 of these problems, we're trying to find the equation of a trend line. So we're doing number 9 right here. I went ahead and drew the x and y axes, as well as marked each of these axes off. So if you want to pause the video and do that, go ahead. Oh, before I draw the line, I wanted to point out that I went ahead and I plotted each of the points whose coordinates were given. What we see here is called a scatter plot. So that's a scatter plot. In a scatter plot, we see that the data that we're given, these 5 points, it looks like you can draw a line that doesn't necessarily have to go through all the points, but it kind of shows a trend in the data. So we could use this trend, we could use the data given to come up with a trend line, to use it to predict or make predictions about what may happen in the future or what has already happened. So that line, notice that there are a couple dots above the line, a few dots below, and it's not a perfect line, it's just a trend line. It shows an estimate of what the data is actually doing. So fortunately, what I did here is I got a point here that I can call that my y-intercept, because really what I want to do is I want to estimate the equation of this line. And remember, when we write an equation of a linear function or a linear equation, we need 2 things. We need point and a slope, or slope and y-intercept. So we have a y-intercept, so we have the y-intercept, which is b. b is equal to -4, 1, 2, 3, 4. It's about that. And then we just have to figure out, well, what is the slope of this line? So I'm going to count down 1, 2, 3, and over 1, 2, 3, 4, perhaps. So it's about, so the slope is about down 3 and over 4. It's about that. So really what we want is, again, just an estimate. Once we come up with the estimate for the y-intercept and an estimate for the slope, we can go ahead and show the equation of the trend line, which is y equals the slope, which is -3 over 4, which is our estimate, times x, plus our y-intercept, and the y-intercept is -4, so plus -4 is the same thing as -3/4 x minus 4. So there's our equation of our trend line. It's just, again, an estimation. You might find a little bit different, but you definitely need to have a negative slope. You need to have a negative y-intercept, and so those 2 parts are there, and we have an equation of a trend line that's approximately the same as the equation of the line of best fit, and we'll get to that. But right now we're just approximating.